doesn't have much in it, you know.
So many cemeteries anymore only allow a little plaque on the ground.
Well, when you
And
look at the amount of, if you look at the tombstones in the photograph, mowing that, it takes quite a feat, you know, to get it
oh,
nice and
I
trim and
imagine.
snug. So, you know, really give some credit to those groundskeepers. They're not just, you know, grunts. They actually have to, you know, it's not rocket science, but still, I mean, you have to do a good job. And it's very tedious to do, to, I mean, if they're using a riding mower, you know, it's probably just a real maze. You know, just to, it probably takes forever just to go back and forth and around, and probably, you know, a crew no doubt is needed, you know. But I will say yes, the what you see today are the plaques, and it's the same with my folks. You know, they had the plaques in that section, and the whole thing, it just gets mowed.
It's for
Yeah,
convenience, but certainly not the mystical and
no,
the stories in stone
there's no
that these
flamboyance. Yeah, it
there's
doesn't
no
allow for much.
flamboyance.
Yeah,
You know,
um,
Joseph, I have to tell a story about my best friend and
sure.
I. My best friend has belongs to an old family in a town called Cherokee, and her family lives in this little cemetery. Lives, I say, it seems like they're
Lives.
living, and it's called Hope Cemetery, and it's a family with money, and they all have these extravagant, monuments and tombstones. And Kate and I, being, old hippies back in the 70s and stuff, wanted something really unique. And she says, Annie, she says, I'm going to buy you a plot next to me, which my husband wasn't real happy about. But on the other hand, oh well. So I said, well, sure, that's awesome. So I said, I'll tell you what, you buy the plots and I'll buy the statue. So I bought this big, huge 7-foot Greek goddess from a southern plantation, but her breasts were showing. And
Oh, gee.
the good Baptists decided that there was just no way they could have a woman with bare breasts in their cemetery. She would have
Well,
fit in beautifully. So now she's in my backyard, but um, I guess it's still a wonderful thing because all of these stones go back hundreds of years. Families that were wiped out by tornadoes in the 1900s and 1800s. Little kids' shoes from the death of a child. And
yeah,
some of these
saddest
stones,
things
it's
ever.
so
Yeah.
old that they're just practically crumbling. And it's just really a joy for me to think I'm going to be part of that.
Um, there is a Jewish cemetery. I believe it's in Forest Park, Illinois. I remember my brother taking me there because he wanted to do some rubbings. You know, when you take some tracing paper and you rub the tombstone. He was into a whole. He's an artist, so it was just one of the things that he was doing. Um, and he went there because they had the most unusual, and it was a very old cemetery. It is in the middle of this town, really, I suppose, in a business district. So it was quite small, very old, and they had the clasps that opened up on the tombstones that had a picture inside, the photograph or miniature of the person who was buried there. And that's a very old-fashioned thing. This way, you can flip it open and you get to see them, and you're like, oh, that's the
Oh,
person.
wow.
Yeah, so like for like say if it's someone that you're mourning, you can go and visit and then open up that little, you know, to see their photograph, you know. That hasn't been done in many, many years, as far as I know. But I thought it was an interesting feature, and the photographs, you know, they were protected from the weather by this flip open, ornate metal clasp. It's like a locket, you know. You open it up, and there they are, you know.
Have you heard that there's new tombstones now that have a little video camera inside them so that the loved one can give a message, a short, so that someone can push a button and their mother or their father will say something, like a short loop of a message like I love you or um
Oh my! But that is different, isn't it?
yeah, but you know I do feel sad that so many, and I think part of that is many people are not going with traditional burials anymore. They're getting cremated, and you really don't need that much space when you have just a little urn. But
Mhm.
on the other hand, um, so I'm wondering if Bill has those pictures uploaded. Mr. Bill, if you could give a picture of Joseph in the cemetery with the tree monuments, if you have that picture to show us.
There
And
I
there
am.
you are, and there are the two trees, and behind there is books and things like that, you said?
Mhm. Well, actually, you could see there's tablets or books at the base of these trees, and you can also see it's like those look like beads, hanging from the tree, like decorating, but actually
Yeah, they
it's
do.
like a vine. It's like a vine of some kind, and those are like um I would say
Very.
that the books would indicate, literature, of course, obviously. Perhaps somebody learned who studied, and the trees, I'm sure, are symbolic of the nature of, of perhaps the love of a certain, maybe it was a family that had um, given to a nature preserve of some kind because they were so
Right.
into, so it's quite a monument, though. I've never seen that, and it's really cool because it's very old. And I love old castings like this. I love these, giants. Uh, and throughout, actually, you can see even behind me there are some ornate ones. And really, I should have gone around and taken more pictures at the time. But I was at a part. It was a town party, and just a friend of mine thought it was kind of morbid that I was in the cemetery taking pictures. So
Oh,
I just
really?
kind of, yeah. Well, it just seemed to be inappropriate at the time. I don't know, but
Well, ever since my whole family, if my
yeah,
family wants an outing, and my mother has always loved cemeteries,
yeah.
old historical
Well, my
cemeteries, and we
grandmother
used to
always
take
took us
trips
to
to
one. Yeah,
cemeteries all the time. Yeah,
yeah, we did that. Yeah.
yeah. And the next one, I wonder if Mr. Bill could do is of the movie star, which I think is really, really funny. Mr. Bill, do you have that second one of
The
what's her
movie
name again?
star. Oh,
There.
yes, Joan Hackett, yes. I
Um,
love her. Actually, she was in quite a few movies, and she was a good character actress, but she died quite young, from ovarian
I don't know
cancer.
if you can see the what the caption says. Can you
It
remember what
says
it said?
it says on her tombstone, it says, "Go away, I'm asleep."
And
And
I love that.
that
I mean,
that
how
is a
cool.
reference to it's a reference made to her love of beauty sleep. She was a firm believer
Oh.
in beauty sleep, and she enjoyed a good night's sleep. So it was very appropriate that she would have this. Of course,
Wait.
I didn't find the one with the hypochondriac that said, "I told you I was sick," but
Oh no,
that's
I
one to
didn't
think
see
about.
that one.
No, I think it's a joke. It couldn't possibly be real, but you never know. I mean, sometimes I've seen some really funny ones that were posted on the internet. I just don't know if they're legit.
But I think that makes it all the more fun to walk around in cemeteries where people have the last word on their stone, like this star saying, "Go away, I'm sleeping," or instead of having something profoundly dramatic,
Mhm.
we did go to the North Carolina uh, St. John's Church one time, and we there was an opera singer who had died, and the length of the caption. I mean, it was this long, long tomb that laid on the ground, and it went on and on and on and on about her history, and you could just see this woman had a huge ego. I know, and it would take you a good 15 minutes to read it all, but I like it short but sweet like this.
Mhm. I think a
Thank you,
person
Mr.
should
Bell.
have a few words that is them, that will make you think of them. It's hard to come up with that for your own sort of caption. If you could say give somebody an idea of who you are just by maybe saying a sentence with a few words in it, and
Now,
see if you can do it. It's kind of hard.
what would yours say?
Oh, it would be hard. How about one word?
Mine,
Coffee.
mine would say, take your bitch pill.
Mine would be coffee.
Coffee.
Or, yeah, leave me alone.
Leave me
Leave
alone.
me alone.
I wanted to this book I got at Barnes and Nobles quite a while ago, and I have taken it to some of the old cemeteries.
Mm.
And it's called let me see if I can put it here. Um, it's it's called it says The Stones Tell Stories. Mr. Bill, I think there's another picture that just has this book on it.
Oh.
And it would be the third picture that you have. And it's called Stories in Stone, a field guide to cemetery symbolism
Mm.
and iconography. And so if you're walking around in some of the cemeteries, especially the ancient ones, it says a bird in flight, a hand pointing upward, a six-pointed star, engraved, carved, or sculpted. The images on tombstones, grave markers, and mausoleums tell stories about the people they memorialize and the world they lived in. But the meaning of these symbols is often obscured by the mists of time. And this is considered to be one of the best for going into a cemetery. I've looked at several books, and this one has the most amount of 5 stars as being relevant to what
Wow.
it is. For instance, it goes into, like, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, you can. Thanks, Mr. Bill. It goes into the weeping bottle, the tear vial. It goes into sculptures. Um, you
Oh,
know,
do you have any?
uh,
I always liked the crying angel ones, the ones that
yeah.
just show this angel like draped over the tombstone and just,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's like, holy cow, how dramatic is that? That is awesome. Yeah,
And like
it's
they've
really
got
art.
ones like this beautiful angel that
Oh
is
my, yeah.
completely covered with ivy.
Hmm.
Um, and and then it goes into angels in the cemetery and what those angels signified, and whether they're beside the tombstone. And it says, wander into the cemetery and you'll likely see dozens of these heavenly messengers dotting the landscape. Despite their winged continents, they are tremendously variable in their posture and expression. While
Mm.
some are draped over tombs in grief,
Yes.
others seem ready to take flight with heavenly joy and aspirations. Tears stream from the eyes of one another. And it just goes into it, and then it goes into the different religions. And for instance, this one, how macabre is this? Let me see. Okay, wait a minute. I got to
Well,
get it.
some
So
have like a figure of death even with
that's
it's
what
like,
it is. It's,
yeah, it
oh
looks like that. It's a little hard to see
gosh, hold
yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's
Um,
moving around a lot. Yeah.
I know, I'm trying to find a way to get it. It's a picture of a skeleton, and it's draped on the tombstone, and
Yeah.
it's really macabre. And
Yeah.
why anybody would want a skeleton. It says
Yeah.
mortality
Well,
symbols.
I think of a few people who might get into some really weird things on their stones if
Yeah.
they're going to have them.
This
But
mortality.
I like it when the statues, even like say even your decorative outdoor statues that are like say made out of concrete. I've always wanted to try to make one. I've always wanted to try to make one. That would be really cool. I have no idea how to go about it. Though I did have art and stuff and pottery and ceramics, so making one of those would be quite a feat. But what I like about these things is that why I like the cemetery statues so much, even the outdoor, just the ornaments, they get mossy over time, and then like the vines begin to grow on it. That's what I want. It's like, don't clear them away. No, I love that. It's like I love it when there's moss on these things. It's just very, it almost seems to serve as like shading. It kind of adds to the whole thing. It just kind of adds a whole new dimension to the statues, because they're like more of a part of their surroundings now.
Right.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I would say that as far as the whole subject of, I'm trying to figure out how to get myself back in the center of there again. Somehow I
Well, the
got
symbolism is what we were looking at, and what it means. Just like with tarot cards, there are many symbols. So
right.
for
How
instance, someone
relevant
could
is that?
ask you. Well, someone can ask you about finances, and you pull up a face card that has a person in it. It doesn't always mean a person, you know,
Right.
though 90% of the time it really does. But there's also there are certain qualities uh, that this type of person has that also relates to the qualities of the situation we're asking about. So, like say Queen of Swords, it's like, well, it's going to be a Queen of Swords type of thing. you know,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
it's going to be a real bitch. you know, but
Yeah.
pardon me. But no, I'll probably get bleeped, or that will probably get
Oh no, we
chopped
don't.
out.
No, honey. This one, people
Just,
say four-letter words and
sorry.
everything. This is
You
this
know,
is about the same as having a.
I've
Um,
always had the philosophy, though, of know where you are and who you're with and what you're doing at the same time without forgetting what you're saying. Watch what comes out of your mouth. But basically, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like what it means, really. It's whatever situation. So, yeah, lots of symbols, and that's why sometimes when I look at the cards, I need to look at really all the little things that are in it. It's very easy to overlook it. Even stuff in the background. Everything that you see in the cards is there for a reason. It's not just there to fill in space, and it's not there because it's pretty. It's like everything there has a meaning, even the background, even the sun in the background, or that person pulling the cart way in the distance that people wouldn't notice, but all this stuff has meaning. So,
that's
so
true.
yeah. So actually, when it comes to the tombstones, that too is that there's nothing on there that has no meaning. There's a reason for it. If there's lilies, well, that is a standard flower for death. Stuff like that, and all sorts of you know and the skulls, well, there are some cultures that are really into death, the whole morbid
Oh, I
thing.
know.
And those
I'm
are the ones that
amazed
have the
by.
mourners. People actually are professional mourners. I think that's in Sicily or Italy or many of these
Oh
other
yeah,
countries, and they show up to funerals and they wail, and of course maybe hang out for the free lunch afterwards, I suppose. I don't know, but
there are
you
an
know
amazing amount of people that come just for
yeah.
the dinner.
Yes, yes. Well, at least they showed up. Even though
Yeah,
they're
I
professionals.
don't
Of
know
course
him,
they're
but I
going to
love the
show
meal.
up.
Well, we
Out
have
here
a.
in the country, though, we still have the tradition that people bring baked goods and cooked items to a potluck, and it's usually the church hall. So that's very old-fashioned where I live. It's when people bake and they bring it all, and so it's all home cooked. It's a home cooked spread. That's what it is. And
Yeah,
come one, come
yeah.
all. Everybody who's at the church is going to know about it. So,
We have a fun message from Sarah that says, "Hello, Anne Marie and Joseph. Last week I
hi.
wrote in about dwindling funds and maybe losing my place. And Joseph said something you both said, I would possibly be finding work by the end of this month. I saw a sign in a window of a small shop, stopped in and inquired, and the job becomes available then end of the month."
Oh, well,
You,
good luck. That's great.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you see me getting this part-time job in this shop?
Well, let's
Blessings
see.
to you both.
Let's see. That would be awesome.
Mm.
Let's see. So this is what you call a reading that just kind of builds upon itself.
Yes.
Yes. And I need to see the symbols. I pulled up the sun as the current, as your current card. And actually, well, gee, it shows that your personal magnetism is really high right now. So you'll make a good impression, and you're at a point where, yeah, you're going to make a good impression wherever you go. Make sure that you always look nice when you go out. So you never know, because they might interview you on the spot. Oh, wait a minute, here's the manager. You never know. So try to look good at all times. And I do see that, like even starting now at this point, I see that you have this period of contentment and joy. So it looks good. And for the outcome, I've got the Four of Wands, and I'm seeing that your projects will be completed. And that's basically the general census of the card, but I'm seeing that you're going to achieve this goal. If not that particular job, then one immediately after it. But I do see you getting in something, and I don't know if it's that one, but it's I'm seeing some financial rewards coming soon, and as according to the Four of Wands, comes in fours, so maybe within 4 days you'll hear something. There'll be something coming up, or 4 weeks, end of the month. That's when you can apply for the job, and I'm seeing do it. So that's what I got.
And I have, at this particular time, you may feel that life has been a true struggle, but your reading says that look for the next 2 months to completely get things back into line again. Uh,
Yay!
absolutely getting your ducks in line, and that your reading says that more money increase and more stability definitely is happening between now and all the way up till the next 9 months. So I feel that things are really looking good for you.
Cool.
Yes. So there, in answer to your question, I would say absolutely. Um, that you
Yeah.
are going to find that you have an ability to
Yeah.
um, get your life together, and it looks good, and I hope it's this job. I
It
hope
looks
it's
like you're
this
on the
job.
right path. It looks like
Right,
it's the right path. So I'd say keep doing what you're doing. Don't let the effort slide. Keep that up.
right.
Yeah.
So we have a caller, and it's Julia from Florida.
Hi,
And
Julia.
Julia, what can we do for you?
Hi, this is Jules. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Jules. Is this the Jules that I used to know from Brass
Oh,
Ovary?
Jules.
It is. It certainly is. It's
Hey,
good to
how
see
are
you again.
you?
Doing
That's a
great.
lot.
How are you?
I have to comment. I have to comment. We started the Brass Ovary when Adrian and Austin and I started that show when um, she first started running for president. And of course, she lost, but I'm so happy to see, and I know a lot of you are haters of Hillary, but for myself, I'm glad to see that she's doing well and she got in there, and I just had to comment on that.
Well, she
Cool.
carries hot sauce in her purse.
She does.
Well, sometimes you just need a little spice, right?
I would have said,
Yeah.
let's see it though. Let's see it. You said you got it in your purse. Let's see it. It better look like you've been using it. I don't want to look. That seal better be off of
um,
that thing. I mean, I
Well,
settled
I
for
did have.
Tabasco. I like that. I certainly don't carry it around, but I guess she was trying to ingratiate herself when
well, if
she
you
said
don't,
that.
honey, the
So,
difference is you live at home and she doesn't have one because she's living on the road. So you carry your
so you have to
refrigerator.
carry stuff. Yeah,
You
she
have
might
to
even have
carry
a jar
everything
of
with you.
relish in that bag for all I know,
Ha!
or at least some little cocktail wieners or something. You'd have to
It
have
could be.
something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right,
Just a
Jules,
little snack.
what can we do for you, girl?
Well, I actually wanted to make a comment about the show topic, and then I have a question.
Oh, great.
All
It's so funny
right,
you guys are
great.
talking about this because I was on one of the Wholesale Warehouse Club's websites, and they
Yeah.
now have their little keepsakes. It's called a Star Legacy Dynasty keepsake, and what it is they come in different sizes, like a miniature urn. So
Oh,
it's like a little miniature brass urn, so you could put your loved one's ashes and have it as a keepsake instead of having like the whole urn or whatever. But it's
Oh,
so
Okay.
funny because they have like a little urn, or they have like a little teardrop shaped, and they it's just the funniest thing. They have one for your dog. It's a little brass doghouse. So I thought,
Oh,
well, that's kind of clever
wow.
because a lot of people think of their dogs as their family. So I just thought that was
Oh,
kind
my
of cute,
well,
and
goodness,
I had never
yes.
seen that before.
I think they could even
But
compress a body into a diamond nowadays. I think I heard something about you could now wear your loved
What?
ones as jewelry. So
wow,
What?
I don't know.
I'd
Really?
never heard that. But
This
yeah,
is my
that's
mom. Would you
that's
like my ring? It's
interesting.
my mom.
Yeah,
No.
well, she's got a lot of
And then when you
sparkle,
say,
doesn't she?
"Here, granddaughter," or "Here, grandson, here's your," no, thank you.
It's
I'm
a
not
very
sure.
This is
important it's a
Nana.
very important necklace. These are your
Yeah,
Yeah,
ancestors.
you're stuck.
yeah.
Well,
That would be a whole new
I
level of
would have to
misplacement,
say that I still really want to have bitch pill put on the outside of mine. Take your bitch pill, because that is my motto, and it's gotten me through the tough times, and it's gotten me from being um, an enabler to standing up for myself. And so it just has to be on my gravestone. Take your bitch pill.
There you go. Well, hey, more power
Yeah, I
to
think
you, though.
mine
I
would
mean, it's
be
meaningful to
from the
you. It's,
Argent song
not just
"Hold Your Head
words.
Up." I like
Hold
that. I
your
always
head up.
that song
Okay.
actually had a lot of meaning for me, and I like it. And I think I would have that "Hold Your Head Up" in quotes. Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
cool.
Hmm.
So, what can we
I'm
do
not
for
sure
you?
what I would have.
Thanks for adding, offering that information. We will
That's
all run
cool.
out and get necklaces and put our parents in them now, and
And
our
truly a
whatever,
keepsake.
or dogs, or
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I
Well,
was calling about my question is, I'm looking to relocate. I've gone through my divorce, and it's just about all completed now. There's one last
oh,
process
oh
done.
my.
And I've been living with my mom, and I'm ready to, venture out, spread my new little wings and fly. So I wanted
right,
to see
and
what you guys did around
yes,
me moving into my, finding my own place, finding a job, basically starting over. So,
right.
and I'm hoping, if you happen to pick up a time frame, because ideally I would like it like July or August at the latest.
Okay, well, time frames are always approximate, Jules. But if
Yeah.
I look at
Okay.
just
Well,
your
it's
move,
because it's not real time. It's a concept. That's like why we can't pick lotto numbers because it's not something that we could have a sensory connection to. It's difficult. So,
Okay. Well, if
okay,
but
if
that's my
something
look,
happens
explanation
in,
of it. It's because really you cannot touch the number five. I mean, you could if it's a paper cutout,
right,
but you really can't. Really, it's a number.
right.
It's so.
well,
What I see here coming up soon, actually, King of Pentacles time frame. That doesn't tell me anything, but
it could. It says
it does
one.
show that I'm seeing you taking some risks, or perhaps meeting somebody who's somewhat of a who likes to take risks. I do see a man because that's who the King of Pentacles represents, and he's a mature person and communicates well, and he's good at making deals, and I see him as being someone that's going to make things work for you. He might be someone that's going to yeah, it could be somebody that's going to do some planning for you, and he's going to be really good at it, or someone that you're going to meet and like. So you just never know. But I do see this. I do see good things happening because of this person. I don't know when though. That's just it. I really can't give you that. Um, so I am seeing somebody. Um, what we have here is the upside down Queen of Wands in your present world, and it's kind of a frosty sort of a female that you're dealing with. Now, it doesn't mean that she's but it's one of those things that she has these traits where, yeah, they're really useful traits, but right now she's using them in a flip side sort of way, like, oh, this is the worst of her, like, yeah, she's brilliant, but oh my gosh, she's wicked too at the same time. So um,
Hmm.
but it might just be her mood, or it might just be what she's going through right now. I don't know. But man, she's in your present and she's a challenge. She's going
Or
to be
could
kind
it
of,
be her?
well, it might be
Has she
you.
learned how to stop being so sensitive and
Yeah.
to
You know,
take her bitch pill?
it could very well be you. And maybe that's just an acknowledgement. You know what? You are someone that you're really together, and you're also someone like, man, if you're on the flip side, you wouldn't want to be on the other end of that. And
Yeah.
right now, and if
Except for
it
my
is you,
mother.
maybe you kind of you're feeling kind of flipped, and maybe you might have lashed out, or maybe it's a caution, like, try not to be difficult, even if you're not in a good mood. That's really hard to do. Because I tell you,
Yeah.
if I'm in a rotten mood, all my good qualities are just used for the worst. If I don't have any control over that, but we're grown ups, and so now sometimes we just sigh and smile and say, "So what can I do for you?" you know so
Yeah.
even if you just want to slap them upside the head, and sometimes it takes a lot of control. But so if it is you,
Yeah.
it's a reminder, like, try to be a bit more accessible even if you're not having a good time, because people around you
Yeah.
don't really know what you're going through, and they don't know what's inside. And sometimes if we always look like we're together, we get even less compassion from other people because they think we're always fine. It's like,
People
well, you
love
know what?
people love
Well, the thing to
imperfection.
remember is they forget that tough people have feelings and tough people get hurt. They just deal with it differently. It doesn't mean that they should treat you with less respect, or be less considerate, or that maybe, like, some people might not seem very helpful to you because you always seem like you don't need help. You seem tough enough to deal with it. You know what? And that's not fair. It is not a fair thing, but that's how people are. And I've seen it happen before. A friend of mine who was always had this tough exterior and really together, smart guy. But I tell you, when he was having a tough time, very few people like noticed to pay attention, and pitch in, because a lot of times you don't want to ask for help, and people don't really want it. They shouldn't be made to ask for help. People should be really paying attention if they really are close. But
Yeah.
I'm seeing her. So if it's you, it's a reminder. Make yourself more accessible and try to be a little more calmer, or maybe listen with respect, to somebody's
Yeah.
ideas. Because this card coming up is somebody who knows their stuff. So I'd say, just, I see it all working out. I see that you're going to have some assist, or I see this person being essential to the success that you want. Well, whether it be
Okay.
your own place, or whatever. It could be really good real estate agent, who might find you a deal. That's who it might be. You just never
Damn good
know. But
attorney.
it's yeah, or an attorney who can straighten something out, because this guy he's good. He's whoever it is, they're together. So if you had doubts about somebody coming up, you think, I don't know. Well, this guy, and it is a man. So that's it. But he'll be helping you, or he's going to be part of it somehow. What do you think, Anne
Okay.
Marie?
Well, Jules, when I look at what comes up immediately in your past, it says the last 10 months, and you can't see these faded old cards. They're what I use every day. But the last 10 months has been a time where you've been struggling with the sense of leaving your old securities. And it says that this has been happening about, well, the last 10 months. It also says that you walked into something to get away from those problems, but frankly, you found yourself wondering if you weren't stepping into another worse problem. So now
Yeah.
you're now at that point, it says, where you don't give a crap. You're starting
Yeah.
try not to become emotionally or too sensitively connected to your environment or to feelings or to other people's feelings. And that's also what I see connected with Joseph.
You know,
The
you know, yeah, just to acknowledge really quick. I mean, in your past, I am seeing that you've done a lot of spiritual growth and creative, growth, and that's something it showed up because that's something that you can always count on about yourself is that you have this foundation. You should stop and think about all the really cool things that you can do, because they might be really useful, with the job and career, things you might not have thought of. But you do have quite a few accomplishments there in the past.
Joseph, let me finish my reading here and then you
Sure,
can
I'm
comment.
sorry. No, I'm done. I just wanted to mention that you're capable, really. You always have been.
Okay,
Go on, Anne
so
Marie. I'm sorry to cut in like
that's
that. I
all
just, it
right.
just, it just kind of poked me in the eye there. So,
Yeah, well, I know how it is when you get poked in the eye. So,
yeah.
um, your reading says that expect that you will find that within the next 7 weeks, and I don't know whether that means that you're going to step into a different environment again, get your own place, or whether it means that it will be time to finally move away from your present environment within 7 weeks. Excuse me, itchy nose. But what it says is that um, basically it's just saying be prepared that even as the new changes step in one by one, nothing, like you said, is perfect. Even the things that are going to be the creative storm coming still feel like they're a little off. And it'll feel that way for maybe another 2 months. Lastly, guess what? I too come up with a powerful male card, and
Wow.
but I have two ways to interpret that. Either it means that there has never been a time in your life where you felt more empowered and more willing to access into your inner warrior, as when you watch the development of your life and the transitions and the chapters and how you step out of things and learn to get away from your emotions and learn to be less sensitive. It could mean also that you are learning to step into your warrior, your empowerment, which is to me extremely important when you're breaking out on a new path. It could also mean that there is a powerful male coming into the picture that will aid you, help you, or to be instrumental in a new decision in your life. So one or the other. And that's what I have.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
All in all, they
Sounds
both
very
sound pretty good. I mean, they both seem
Yes.
to have this really nice positive outcome of things working out because of your strength and because of the strength of somebody who might be helping. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Jill, I can't thank you enough. It's been years since I've talked to you, and I really am
cool.
happy that you tried.
That's so cool that you guys heard
Me
from each
too.
other again. Yeah.
Well, it's so cool
Yeah.
to see you. I'm looking on YouTube and watching, and it's like, oh, this is so cool. I get to actually see you while I'm
Isn't it
talking to
something?
you.
Yes.
It's like I'm
Yes.
loving this.
Now I
So
wish I could
wonderful. Well,
take the
thank you so
shows and
much.
like edit them so that we can remove dead space and
Well, I can edit the
no,
YouTubes.
yeah, get rid of all the nose picks and ear
Well, that
scratching and
gets a little too picky.
and
I'm not.
all those
I'm not
moments where I
picking my
stare
nose.
blankly.
I'm scratching my nose. Now, Jules. No, it's
Please,
allergy
guys,
time.
thank you so much.
um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, all I can say is good luck on your journey, and it sounds like you're really going to be doing amazing.
yeah.
Thank you both so much,
Sounds
and
like
I'm
you're on the
so
right
glad to get to
path.
talk
Yep.
to you. And I will continue to listen online. So thank you for
And
taking my
That's
we
call.
will look
great.
we will look for our necklaces with little places to put the ashes of our loved ones.
Okay. All right,
Maybe
take care.
maybe you can give me the link and I could put it on our blog.
Okay, well, it's bjs.com. I didn't
Oh,
even
you
know
know,
CJ's.
that BJ spells casket. Yeah, it's
you
BJ's,
can
the whole
also
stone
have
farm.
your ashes planted in
CJ's.
a special little biodegradable cup that has a tree seed in it or a tree. So
Oh,
you could have that tree
oh, that's
as
cool.
your
I like that idea.
monument. And I like
Oh,
that idea because
That's
I don't
very
like
cool.
wakes or funerals. I would rather just kind of,
it's
put
a
me
cup.
like under a tree. That'd be great. Pick one of my favorite trees, or I don't know, but something that will be there for a long time.
No, I've got to have something flamboyant. That's all there is to it. If I'm going to die by God, I want something so loud and so splashy and so huge that my son will come and say, "Geez, Mom, what the hell?"
It'd be,
So,
there would probably
He
be
went out
tarot
his
cards or a
flamboyant
crystal
machine
ball
was
or
here.
yeah,
something in your motif, maybe,
not in the
or
Baptist cemetery. It's not going to happen.
something with flutes.
It definitely won't be naked breasts. It will not be naked breasts.
No,
The good
no, I don't think
Baptist
that's a
cannot
good
handle that.
idea. Yeah, yeah. And
Okay,
besides, look what happened with the Washington Monument. I mean, we all know what that's supposed to be. So,
what is it? I
I'm
don't.
I'm just kidding.
What was it?
It's a big phallus. The Washington Monument,
Oh,
it's
that
that
makes
big
sense.
pointy thing.
That
Yeah,
that makes
Oh, you guys
sense.
are wild.
Washington slept here. And here,
Or what
Wait,
are
and
they
here,
saying
and
and
about the
here.
that makes
Capitol?
that
Here's
would
the
be
home of the
totally
big
appropriate
dick.
for Washington, I think. A big phallic symbol. All
Well,
right,
it's better
love.
than
See you
a
later.
big pair of
We have
breasts.
two
There you
more calls inside the room we got to
Okay.
take.
All
Love
right.
you. Bye
Thanks
bye.
again. Take care.
go.
Love
Bye
you.
bye.
All right. Bye bye.
That was fun.
Okay, we have John from New York. Hey, John, what's up?
Hi, John.
Hey, how are you? Hello?
Hey, what's going on with
Hello?
your life? And what caption are you going to have on your tombstone, John?
I'm not going to have one.
Good
Oh,
for
you're
I
you.
just want to be cremated
and blow in the wind.
and blow in the wind. Either blow in the wind or go in the ocean, one of the two.
Ah, okay. You're the more modest type, yeah. It doesn't matter to you if
Yeah.
you end up making a huge statement, because when you're
Well, it's an
dead,
earthly possession. That's what we all leave. We leave it all behind. It kind of doesn't matter. And you know, I mean,
yeah,
basically everything in this world, that's matter. Matter never does disappear. So everything that's in this realm, it obeys the laws of physics because that's what we're bound by in this world. So things never just disappear, and they just don't. They transform, but they never disappear.
John will
So
become
that's the
a
cool thing
railroad
about this
underwater.
particular world.
Yes. John, what's up? What can we do for you?
Hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to know my career. I am progressing, but I'm not going as fast, and also moving.
Okay, so where do you want to move to, John? So I can look at that.
Well, I want to stay in state. I want to stay in state. I need my own place.
Ah,
I need my
so
own
the
place.
question. Okay, so and as far as your job went, what are you asking for? How you are perceived by others, or when you're going to move on to a different job, or what?
I want to know if my career in what I'm doing now is going to take off and get
Okay,
bigger, or
could you please say what it is you're doing, John?
oh yes, I'm into acting. I'm into acting.
Okay, Joseph, that's your guy. I'll let you
Hmm.
look at that.
Well, what I'm seeing is you might feel like something, like you said, things are not moving fast enough for you, or and what I'm seeing here the moon upside down, and that means it's important. Just kind of wait it out. Sit with the uncertainty, and don't try to force anything. Don't try to make people do things before they're ready. So this is one. This is a card that says, you know what? If you just, patience, it will work out. And what I'm seeing now is that you're going to be, or you're kind of in this phase where you're being more intuitive, and that's expected because you're an actor. Um, so it's important that you trust your instincts and impressions, and you know this. And
Hmm.
but you can. Things are less clear, but I'm seeing wait it out, and it's not going to seem that clear in your work either. You're going to feel kind of lost, but just sit it out. It'll pass. And I see things moving after this, after that point. Probably sometime, maybe late summer, towards the end of summer or fall. Things are going to clear up for you, and it's going to work out a little bit better. Things will be sharper, and you'll be getting, it'll be better with the work, financially too. But right now, just kind of try to wait it out a little bit, and take things a little slow. Make some plans, do some checking and stuff. It doesn't hurt to be active. What do you think, Anne Marie?
Okay.
I've got a couple things that are coming through, John. First of all, it says you walk around and you have a great aura of professionalism. That there's a sense that you're respectful and that people respect you, and you tend to be a natural visionary, which would go with the intuitive side that Joseph saw. But it says that for whatever reason, expect that the next 2 months, you're not going to feel like there's a lot of things going on your side. And I want to bring, and please know that doesn't mean that you should kill yourself and blow yourself in the brook, okay? I don't mean that. I mean, it just means that as you start to and this is what's really got me going here. Is there a powerful woman or somebody around you that in your environment that it says is either trying to go her own way or seems to be somebody that is trying to control you these days? Because I'm shown a controlling woman who seems to be related to a home or career, who seemed at first to be somebody that was happy, but that it shows in the future increasingly goes into crisis. And interestingly, it says that that may have something to do with you moving on.
Yeah, if she's
So,
your agent, you don't want her, really.
do you have an
Hmm.
agent?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Okay.
So I don't know who this is,
No, I don't.
but so I would say that as you evolve and go in a new path, expect that things are finally going to start getting back and I show in an amazing way for you, and much more security, money, confidence, focus, empowerment, and self-worth, but not until autumn.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was seeing. Like not till the end of summer or autumn. Like fall is like
Yeah,
your time. That's your time. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
to do all this. But you know what? What it also means is that everything that you're doing now is going to lead to this. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Okay.
so keep doing what you're doing, because you are going to get something in return for your work. And the return time should be
Okay.
about fall. Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
what
because
we.
I'm taking my singing classes and stuff in July. I'm going back for singing classes and keeping up on skills and things with
Oh yeah.
various classes, doing some small jobs.
Yeah.
I'm doing small jobs, and trying to get a few. My main goal is the theater and, of course, TV and film. But
Anything
I'll,
that is theatrical, like the lessons and stuff, and anything that you're doing,
hmm
acting wise, anything at all, even if it's just going by on your skateboard while somebody's filming, you have to. It's all great. It's all great to put on the resume. It really is. It shows that you're still doing things. That's what they want to see. They
Yeah.
want to see somebody who's active and is actually still broadening their own scope, like the lessons. I tell you, singing lessons will
No.
not hurt anybody. Let's face it. Vocal quality is really important.
Yeah.
So it won't hurt. And so keep
Yeah.
that up.
Michael from
Yeah.
New Jersey. We're so sorry. We only have 1 minute left. Michael, can you say hi? Thank you, John.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
Good luck to
Bye-bye.
you.
All right.
Michael,
Bye-bye.
are you
Okay.
there?
Bye-bye.
Hello, Michael. Michael.
Yes.
Hello, Michael.
How are you?
This is
Good.
quick.
We don't have time to give you a reading, but what are you going to put on the outside of your tombstone?
Live life to its fullest, being happy, healthy.
Yay! Sounds good. Is that how you
Yeah.
live your life?
Cool.
Yeah, I've been gravitating towards that.
Good.
And life is amazing.
Oh, that is so wonderful to hear. I'm just going to pull one card on you, John, and it says, move on from a disruptive work or home situation.
Yeah.
You can do much better.
Yeah, I'm seeing an opinionated woman that's kind of, you can do without this. And I'm seeing that it's time to move on. Really.
That's what we have.
Yeah.
So join us again next week. Michael, John, thank you
Take
so
care.
much for connecting.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter